what I be trying to explain to them is like, if you and him beefing, if it ain't no blood spilled, or ain't died about it, it's really nothing.
In a world where street beefs, rap lyrics, and social media clash, there's a darker side of the drill scene that's easy to overlook. It all started with a simple rivalry, a clash over stolen lyrics between two Chicago artists, YFG Fatso and Lil Scum.
Another thing that's been going viral, you dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in the song.
On the surface, it seemed like just another typical rap beef. But as the story unfolded, the stakes turned deadly. And at the center of it all was Lil Durk, a man already no stranger to controversy. You might remember Lil Durk's reaction to the death of Lil Jeff, a moment that seemed casual, almost dismissive at first. Durk said, "If you and him beefing, if ain't no blood spilled or ain't died about it, it's really nothing." It almost sounded like a shrug, but as the rumors swirled, those words started to feel more like a confession. Why? Because behind the scenes, Lil Jeff wasn't just any rapper. He was involved in a deep, complicated beef with Fatso, one of Durk's own artists. And as we dig deeper, the details start to reveal just how much more was at play. The clash wasn't about lyrics anymore. It became a matter of pride, survival, and respect, playing out on a public stage where social media fed the flames of the fire. Fatso, trying to keep things mature, refused to escalate the conflict. But Scum and Jeff, caught up in the allure of the drama, kept poking the beast. They were looking for clout, not realizing they were messing with something much bigger.
I been made that song like a year before I dropped it. All the songs that's viral and all the songs I got on my YouTube, I just started dropping new songs. All the other old as hell. Like, I got hella songs. I got a big ass catalog for. But I'm telling you, like, gang, I been had this song before you.
Yumo, see, when you go head to head with a crew like OTF, only the family.
I know you took my lyrics for your homie. Was just on the phone with me and told me that you be in the crib listening to my music. He like, yeah, we with you, bro.
You're not just battling individual artists. You're challenging a well-established, dangerous organization with connections, resources, and a history of handling disrespect permanently. And that's exactly what Jeff and Scum did. They disrespected Fatso and, in turn, Durk's whole organization. That's when things took a turn. The beef grew large.
You want to be technical? Yeah, me and Jeff used to kick it. If you want to be technical, me and Jeff used to kick it.
Larger than just street talk. When Durk made Fatso an official member of OTF in 2024, he put a target on anyone who dared cross him. Signing to OTF isn't just about fame or money. It's about becoming part of a ruthless machine, a family that will do whatever it takes to protect their own. It's a different level of protection that comes with a deadly price tag for anyone who crosses the line. Then, in May 2024, Jeff made his fatal mistake. He went live on Instagram, playing a...
I ain't the who mad about lyrics. That ain't nothing for real. I got real life situations going on, so I ain't finna really argue with you about no lyrics. That's why I never had really paid attention.
Diss track that directly challenged Durk's authority. That wasn't just disrespecting a rapper. That was poking the bear. And in the world of Chicago's drill scene, you don't poke the bear unless you're ready for the consequences. That one decision would cost him everything.
But the nigga was chasing it, like Stacy and get on live and shit. Like, you know, you go to TikTok and see it. They on live.
Then 2 weeks later, Jeff was dead. That wasn't a coincidence. That was the response of an organization that doesn't take disrespect lightly. The details of his death were chilling. 58 shell casings, 19 bullets. This wasn't a random act of street violence. It was a message. The rapid and overwhelming force used was a clear sign that OTF wasn't playing. They don't just talk tough, they act. But the bloodshed didn't stop with Jeff. Just a month later, Lil Scum, the other half of the duo, would face his own fate. This wasn't about gang warfare anymore. This was a systematic operation, designed to send a message. Disrespect OTF.
I didn't consider him an op at first in jail. I don't know who he is. Before that, I didn't consider him
And your whole crew pays the price. The way the events unfolded proves the power of OTF's organization. Their ability to eliminate threats swiftly and efficiently is a chilling reminder of how serious this game is. What started as petty beef over lyrics became a deadly cycle, a cycle that OTF has made their business. They've set the tone for the entire Chicago drill scene. The tragic deaths of Jeff and Scum weren't just casualties of street violence. They were lessons lessons in the consequences of disrespect, lessons in understanding the power dynamics at play, and lessons in knowing the difference between viral beef and real-world consequences. For the artists and
Then I get out of jail. The niggas just keep, they all was going on Instagram. And mind you, before I had these niggas,
crews watching, the message is clear. In this game, respect isn't just given, it's earned, and when you disrespect the wrong people, the price is steep. The bloodshed is proof that when you challenge OTF, you're not just challenging individuals, you're challenging an organization that will make you regret it. So think twice before stepping into their world, because the consequences don't just hit the ones who talk loudest, they come for everyone. And so, the street politics in Chicago continue, leaving more than just broken promises and lost lives in their wake. It leaves a trail of people who made one fatal mistake, underestimating the power and reach of OTF. When you mess with the wrong crew, you don't just lose a battle, you lose your life. The ripples of what happened to Jeff and Scoom didn't just end with their deaths. Chicago's drill scene was rocked, but more importantly, a clear warning had been set in stone for anyone else thinking of testing OTF's power. The deaths weren't just the end of a petty beef, they were the start of a powerful message, one that echoed across the streets, the studios, and the social media platforms. See, what Jeff and Scoom failed to understand was that OTF doesn't just care about rap battles or who's got the better flow. They care about something much deeper: respect. And when you disrespect them, when you test their loyalty and pride, the consequences go far beyond lyrics or clout. This is about a reputation that can't be shaken, a legacy built on power and fear, and a line you just don't cross. But what happens next is what sends chills down the spine of every young artist still chasing that viral moment. Just like their former counterparts, artists are learning the hard way that social media beefs are no longer just words on a screen. They're real, and when you're in the drill game, your moves are being watched by fans, rivals, and most dangerously, by those who can make your life disappear in an instant. As we move forward, the streets of Chicago hold a truth. Once you sign to OTF, you've got more than a label behind you. You've got an army, and this army doesn't fight with tracks and sound bites. They fight with precision, and they win with power. You may think you're just beefing with one rapper, but you're actually taking on an entire organization that's been built to defend itself at all costs. What happened to Jeff and Scoom might seem like a tragic end to a senseless rivalry, but it was also a calculated operation by OTF to assert dominance and send a powerful message to anyone who might think they're above the rules. This wasn't a random act of violence.
If you and him beefing, if it ain't no blood spilled or ain't died about it, it's really nothing.
This was organized, strategic, and unfortunately deadly for the artists still out there in the game trying to carve their names into the drill scene. Let this serve as a reminder. This isn't just about talent, it's about survival. It's about understanding the politics of the streets and respecting the power structures that have been in place long before you stepped into the spotlight. Lil Durk and OTF aren't just a group of rappers. They're a force that commands respect, and if you challenge that, you'd better be ready for the consequences. What started with a simple rap beef over stolen bars escalated into a war where there's no turning back. Jeff and Scoom didn't realize that until it was too...
The whole situation that happened
Listen, man,
with Quando.
how we live and how we go by our shit. And I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there, shut the fuck up. You weren't there.
Too late. And so, as more artists rise and fall, they'll come to understand that in Chicago's drill scene, loyalty means everything. The streets remember, and those who cross the wrong people, well, they don't just fade into the background, they become a lesson. A reminder to anyone else who thinks they can challenge OTF's reign, the price of disrespect is not just high, it's deadly. So next time someone thinks about starting beef with OTF, just remember, it's not a rap battle anymore. It's real life. And in this game, you either play by their rules or you pay the price. As the news of Jeff and Scoom's death spreads, the streets of Chicago are left in shock. But those truly immersed in the game understand the cold reality. This isn't just about losing two artists. It's a systematic cleanup. A message to anyone who dares step out of line. The game is changing, and now everyone in the drill scene knows. You don't just challenge an artist, you challenge an entire organization. And in OTF's world, that comes with deadly consequences. But the story doesn't end here. The violence doesn't simply disappear with Jeff and Scoom. As the aftermath of their deaths unfolds, whispers begin to circle about the next targets. And it doesn't take long for the streets to know who's next in line. In the aftermath of the bloodshed, the power of OTF begins to show its true face. It's no longer just about rappers and beefs. Now, it's about survival. It's about making sure everyone knows who holds the power in Chicago's drill scene. OTF's reputation is cemented, not just in music, but in the streets. It's a warning that extends beyond lyrics, beyond social media. This is real life, and real consequences are at stake. But as these events continue to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. This kind of power isn't built on talent alone. It's built on fear, on loyalty, and on the willingness to do whatever it takes to protect your name, your organization, and the people who have sworn to follow you. Now, in Chicago, the cost of disrespect has gone up. Those who think they can throw shade at the wrong people, challenge the wrong crews, or push the wrong buttons are finding out the hard way that you can't just delete this kind of beef with a few words or a diss track. This isn't the era of Instagram beefs anymore.
I been made that song like a year before I dropped it. All the songs that's viral and all the songs I got on my YouTube, I just started dropping new songs. All the other old as hell. Like, I got hella songs. I got a big ass catalog for. So I'm telling you, like, gang, I been had this song before you.
This is a deadly game where consequences aren't just words on a screen, they're permanent. As OTF continues to expand, so does the power it wields. Their influence spreads beyond just the music industry. It seeps into every corner of the city. The streets are watching. Everyone is paying attention to how OTF handles their business, and the lessons are clear. Disrespect will be dealt with swiftly, and it will be dealt with severely. With every death, every loss, the message gets stronger. Those who dare to challenge OTF will pay the price. And the price isn't just in blood. It's in the respect they've lost and the enemies they've made. Now,
I know you took my lyrics for your homie was just on the phone with me and told me that you be in the crib listening to my music. He like, yeah, we with you, bro.
The whole situation that happened
Listen, man,
with Quando.
how we live and how we go by our shit. And I'm speaking for the whole Chicago. You ain't there. Shut the fuck up. You weren't there.
Now, as the tension in Chicago continues to rise, the question becomes, who's next? Who will be the next artist, the next crew, the next individual to test the limits? But one thing's for sure, those who come after will have to remember the price that comes with defying an organization like OTF. The stakes have been raised, and the rules of the game have changed for good. For anyone still out there thinking they can pick a fight with the wrong crew, this is the reality check you've been warned about. You may think you're just dealing with a rapper, but you're dealing with something much bigger. And when you mess with OTF, the consequences are felt everywhere. And so, Chicago's drill scene continues. A battlefield of power, respect, and loyalty. A place where the cost of crossing the line is measured not just in beefs, but in lives lost. As the city watches, one thing is certain. In the world of OTF, you either stand in line or you fall behind. The tension in the streets is thicker than ever. As more artists begin to feel the heat, it's clear that the drill scene is about to enter a new chapter. One where every move, every word, and every diss track comes with the weight of consequences. The events that led to Jeff and Scoom's tragic deaths set the stage for a brutal lesson in loyalty and respect. But for those who still think they can get away with testing OTF, the danger is only escalating. Now, as the streets begin to buzz, with rumors about who might be next, a chilling truth starts to emerge. The streets aren't just talking about OTF anymore. They're watching every move Durk and his family make, waiting for the next strike. The power OTF holds isn't just in the music, it's in how they control the game, how they manipulate the narrative, and most importantly, how they make sure no one forgets the price of crossing them. For the ones still out there thinking they can dodge the wrath of OTF, the message couldn't be clearer. There's no escaping the consequences once you've crossed the line.
Another thing that's been going viral, you dissed Bloodhound Lil Jeff in the song.
Whether it's through social media diss tracks, petty insults, or outright disrespect, the price of beefing with OTF isn't just a loss in the rap game. It's a loss of life, a loss of safety, a loss of everything. And it's not just about the rappers anymore. The beefs, the politics, the power dynamics, they affect everyone who's tied to the game. From the young artists trying to make their way in the drill scene to the street soldiers who carry out the orders, the entire structure is held together by one rule: loyalty. If you're not loyal to OTF, if you challenge them, you're not just taking on a rapper, you're taking on an entire empire. That empire is growing, expanding its reach, its power, and its influence. It's no longer just about the music, it's about control, domination, and making sure no one forgets who holds the throne in Chicago's drill scene. Durk's announcement of signing new artists, including Fatso, only solidified OTF's dominance and made it clear anyone messing with OTF's artists or challenging Durk's family will feel the full wrath of an organization that has no tolerance for disrespect. As more bodies pile up, the streets are left in fear, but also in awe of OTF's ability to strike with precision. The way they move, methodical, efficient, and deadly, sends a chilling reminder to anyone who dares think they can stand against them. The violence is no longer random, it's calculated, and every target is picked with a cold, ruthless precision.
You want to be technical? Yeah, me and Jeff used to kick it. If you want to be technical, me and Jeff used to kick.
What OTF has managed to do is terrifyingly brilliant. They've blurred the line between rap beef and real-life power. When Durk and his family get involved, it's no longer just about clashing over lyrics or who's got the better flow. It's about an unspoken rule that once you challenge their respect, there's no going back. And when you challenge an organization like OTF, the consequences are permanent. The ripple effects are far-reaching. Artists are more cautious now, and everyone who's watched this chaos unfold understands that getting into it with OTF could cost them everything. The streets are taking notes, and the price of disrespect has been raised. But there are still those out there who don't understand the weight of this lesson. There are still those who think they can walk away unscathed. The reality? Once you've crossed OTF, it's not just the rappers you have to worry about. It's the entire infrastructure that stands behind them. From shooters to handlers to the connections that stretch through the city's streets, the full force of an organization like OTF is something no one should underestimate. And as the death toll rises, so does the reputation of OTF. They've become more than just a drill crew. They're the symbol of power in the streets, a constant reminder that loyalty and respect come at a price. Those who thought they could use the internet to hide behind their diss tracks and viral moments are learning that real-life consequences are much harder to avoid. Now, the stage is set for something even bigger. The game has changed. OTF is no longer just a crew. It's a force, and anyone who dares challenge it will soon realize that the cost of their actions is much more than they bargained for. The question is, who's next? Who will make the mistake of testing OTF's resolve? The message is simple. In this world, you either fall in line or you fall. And for those who thought they could outsmart OTF, the streets will soon remind them that the power of respect can't be faked, and disrespect will be answered with deadly precision.